Oh, ahoy, ahoy! I have a record playing in the background. I don't even know if you can hear it, but it's called Country's Greatest Hits. Apparently, it's not listed in the back what it's called. That's interesting. It's 13 of the 1960s good country, I think. It's one of my favorite records, but hopefully you can hear it because it's pretty good. I'm going to read 15 books for the rest of the year. I read 15 books up to August, and from August to the end of the year, I'm going to read 15 more. It's a goal I'm going to set for myself. I don't know if I can make it. I'm going to try real hard, and if I do, I'm going to be very happy. If I don't, I'm just going to be disappointed in myself like I usually am. This is The House of Leaves is a book I'm reading right now at night. I go to bed with a cup of hot tea, and I drink it, and I read this book. The only issue with it is such a big book, I can't hold it with one hand and drink, so that's my only gripe with the book. I have been reading it for 4 nights in a row, and guess what page I'm on? It's literally number 30. It is not a very quick read, but I am very invested into it. You can see the font and everything gradually gets weirder and weirder. And I'm very interested to see how it gets from a normal book to a weird book like this. It's a horror book, and I think that plays along with how it's written, so I'm interested to see how this ends. The next one is, and every morning the way home gets farther and farther. I lied. It gets longer and longer by Frederick Backman. This is a 100-page book. I only have the sleeve because I lent it out to a buddy of mine, and just to see his opinion on it, and I don't know what I gave him. It's about a grandfather and a grandson, and the grandfather kind of thinks about his life or whatever. I don't know. Apparently it's a pretty good book. I think it was a Merphy Napier suggestion, so she knows what she's doing, right? The next one is Cry Like a Man by Jason Wilson. Jason Wilson is a guy I found on Instagram. He's got inspirational speeches here and there. I researched him a little, and I found out he wrote a book, and I kind of want to branch out to other kind of books, so I bought this. I'm very interested to see what this guy's got to say, and I will let you know, because I'm definitely going to read this one. The next one is Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. This is a Paperbackdreams recommendation. It's a romance book. I'm going to give romance a second try this year because you know how Bel Canto went for me. If this book does not work for me, I'm going to give up on romance until the year 2022 because romance, right? The next book is I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. It's got a quote up front and then the actual cover. I am about 150 pages through. This is my midday read. It's about two twins who are artists in their own way. I found this book through JessieMae on her recommendations for Ravenclaw individuals, and I'm not even a Ravenclaw person, so I don't know why I watched it. Then after I watched her video, I realized I had read 3 of those books. I own Scythe, which is right here. You can't see it. It's not even there. That's weird. Where is it? Anyways, the 5th book on her list was I'll Give You the Sun, so I bought it. And so far, it's very interesting. I don't know why it's a Ravenclaw book, so I'm very interested to get to the end and figure out why she put it there. All right, the next one is Blood of Elves. It's number 1 in the Witcher series. I think this will be my 15th book. If I don't get to this one, I won't be sad. I kind of want to watch season 2 first. If anyone else has got better recommendations than this one, I'd greatly appreciate it, and then I'll bypass this one for 2021. The next 2 are the same way. I kind of want to bypass them because I read Shadow and Bone. I just finished it. It was part of my TBR, and I just finished it, and I did not like it. The next one is Siege and Storm, and the next one is Ruin and Rising. I want to read Six of Crows, and I read that you have to read these 3 books first to get the world building and the magic systems down so you can understand that. But I really did not like this book, so I'm starting to look around and see if I don't have to read these to read that. So let me know if that's the truth or not. Otherwise, I'm going to be forcing myself to read 2 books I don't want to read. I'm definitely reading this one. This is a Stephen King book. It is 11/22/63. It's about the JFK assassination. After he gets assassinated, someone gets sent in the past for 5 years beforehand, and he has to figure out a way to stop the assassination. I've read one book by Stephen King before. It was called Doomakey, I think. And it was the worst book I've ever... Nope, it was the 3rd worst book I've ever read. Bel Canto is my worst, and Stephen King has number 3. But I'm excited to read this because it's not a horror that Stephen King is known for. It's a thriller, and I'm interested. If I like this book, then I'm going to give it a try. I kind of just like owning it because it's such a big book, and it's fun to have. The next one is going to be Oathbringer, which, spoiler alert, I just finished it, and Rhythm of War. They're both by Brandon Sanderson. They're number 3 and 4 in the Stormlight Archives. I am excited to read the 4th one, but I'm going to appreciate the break because I skyrocketed through the 1st and then the 2nd, and then the first half of the 3rd. And after the first half of the 3, I had to take a break because it was so much story, so much coming at you that I just needed to take a break from fantasy. So I read a couple books, and then I finished Oathbringer just a couple days ago. The new one, Rhythm of War, follows the back story of Seth, and I think that's what I read. I don't know if it's true. And I love Seth since book 1, so I'm very excited about this book. I think book 3 was more of a setup for book 4, just like book 1 was for 2. So I'm hoping that number 4 is going to be better than number 3, because number 3 was just worse than number 1 and 2. Then I'm going to read, I'm listening to currently Black Prism by Brett something. This is a recommendation by JessieMae again. I like the way that Brett's writing this. I'm halfway through and I am digging this book. It's about the Black Prism, a guy who has control over every color. There's a magic system that utilizes colors. Like there's some drafters that can utilize the color red, others blue, others purple, orange, whatever. Then there's the Black Prism who can control all of them, and he's the most powerful being in this universe. And the way that Brett writes his stories is that you're not overwhelmed by characters right away, like Malice or Game of Thrones. There's just characters on characters right away. The way that Black Prism is written is that you are introduced to 3, and then gradually as the story goes on, you meet more and more characters, and it's an easy process, it's an easy read, and it's a fun, enjoyable. I'm digging it, and I'm excited to finish it, and then continue to the next, I think there's 5 in the series. The next 2 books, I don't know anything about. In the Dream House by Carmen Maria Machado. It's a memoir. It's a memoir. I didn't even know that. I don't even know what a memoir is. I don't think I've read one. What is a memoir? Do I know what a memoir is? I don't know. And the next one is Smoke Gets in Your Eyes. I think these are both from Paperbackdreams. If she loves the book, I'm buying it because her opinions are 100% accurate so far. Oh, this is a memoir too? Oh, I'm going to learn what a memoir is after 2020. I'm excited to read both of these. They're short and they're memoirs. That's the end. If you read these books, if you got any suggestions for the ones that can replace the 3 that I don't really necessarily want to read this year, which is The Witcher and the 2 last ones in the Grisha-verse, recommend it to me. I will greatly appreciate it. Anyways, that's it. Toodaloo. Have a good day. My music stopped at perfect timing.